Hi Aquarius and Aquarius Rising, here is your horoscope for June 2025. I'm Astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, this is a very big month ahead, and this is because we have 4 planets switching signs this month. So that's very significant in astrology when you have that many planets, on the move. So we start off with Venus that's going to be changing signs, going into your 4th house. We have Mercury entering Cancer. We have Jupiter entering Cancer for the first time in 12 years. And we have Mars finally leaving Leo, going into Virgo. And the interesting thing is most of these are going to interact with either Saturn or Neptune or Pluto in Aquarius in your 1st house. So this is going to be a very interesting month for many of you. This is going to force you to change in some way, some regard. And you're going to have to make some decisions this month. It's just the way the astrology is showing me this. Okay, so we start off the month with Saturn now in Aries in your 3rd house of communication, along with Neptune. And of course, Venus is still there for a few days as well. So we're looking at a lot of thinking and feeling like, it's time for some sort of change in my life. And where do I need to go next? And what is it that I want to do? What do I need to let go of? What's not working for me? So this is going to be the general theme here. On the other hand, we have this time of the year, we have the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter still in Gemini for the first week or so in the 5th house, which is creativity, which is enjoying yourself, which is, wanting to expand your view on things. And you'll find yourself communicating more, or you're filled with all kinds of ideas. And so this is going to lead the way as well. Now, we've got some interesting stuff going on the 6th when Venus enters Taurus. Now, it's the 6th into the 7th. There is Venus entering the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus is a very simple sign. It's a very basic sign, but it's a very stubborn sign. Venus in Taurus in the 4th house has a lot to do with the home environment. So your focus is going to switch to real estate matters. Anything to do with land, property, remodeling. The 4th house also represents the mother. So the theme of mother issues, or, trying to beautify, trying to visit family members. This is all going to be the theme here with Venus in Taurus. So this is going to be a time where we get back to the basics, but at the same time, Venus in Taurus likes the glamour. It likes the beautiful things. It likes beautiful flowers. It likes the simplicity of life, but in a pleasingly aesthetic way. And the 4th house is you focusing on your home life or your family dynamics this month, where you're paying a lot more attention to those areas. And that'll last for about 5.5 weeks as Venus makes its way through the 4th house. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Now, on the 8th and 9th, Mercury enters Cancer right there. Now, Mercury doesn't do that great in Cancer because Mercury is about thinking and Cancer is about emotions and feelings. So it's hard to express oneself when you have a lot of emotions that you're trying to protect. And so here we begin to see the beginning stages of emotions regarding your job or your daily routine and maybe even your family life. But mostly this is going to be about work. You become more emotional about your job. You're more irritated or you're more happier, depending on your alignments in your actual birth chart. And by the way, this is for anyone that has a rising sign in Aquarius or has a sun sign in Aquarius. It's a very general, basic overview using tropical Western astrology and the whole house systems. Your birthday and your birth chart alignments are going to be different. So again, I have to be very general and basic. So here we see Mercury in an alignment where work and your daily routine are, I would say irritating you, or you're feeling more emotional about them and you're not sure you want to be doing it, that kind of energy there. Now, when Jupiter enters on the 9th and 10th right there, this is going to amplify that energy even more. So Jupiter does work very well in Cancer. It's what we call exalted. And it's in the 6th house of work and daily routine. So Jupiter in the coming year, because it'll be here for about a year, is going to benefit you. Traveling for work, or expanding something to do with your health. Or this could be a new job. This could be a new office, a new location. Maybe you're working on real estate properties and fixing them up. Cancer rules real estate. So this is going to be very beneficial in some way for many of you in the coming year with Jupiter now in Cancer. Now, the last time Jupiter was in Cancer was about 12 years ago. So think about 12 years ago, what took place around that time in your life, because it'll be a similar pattern that's repeating itself. All right, so that there is that trend going on. Now, we have the full moon in Sagittarius on the 11th. And so this is going to be the 11th house here, basically highlighting your future, hopes and wishes, communities, friendships, acquaintances. And it's going to be at 20 degrees of Sagittarius, wherever that is in your birth chart, opposing the 5th house. So something to do with some creative endeavor, or maybe something to do with your child if you have children, something to do with your project, is you're becoming more aware of it. There's a realization that sets in with a full moon. And in Sagittarius, it's about beliefs. It's about your philosophy on life, your meaning of life, your purpose in life. And so you're going to be pondering all of that stuff during this full moon. This is going to be highlighting where you want to go, what you want to do, the people you're surrounded with, the community you're surrounded in. And this is all going to be highlighting that energy here. So from about the 8th through the 11th, you are feeling really, am I in the right situation? Am I in the right relationship? Am I in the right property? Am I in the right situation? These are all going to be the things that are going to be highlighting your mindset around this time. Now we get into some tricky alignments that occur between Jupiter and Saturn, and then Jupiter and Neptune. And here we see Jupiter in that Cancer situation squaring Saturn at 1 degree. These are both, 1 degree. This is usually a major event that takes place in astrology. Jupiter and Saturn are both the largest planets in our galaxy. And when they square off against each other, there's usually a push and pull going on. Jupiter's optimistic, it wants to move forward, and Saturn is more or less set in its ways and traditional values. So there's a conflict that erupts here, either at your work or work environment, or maybe even to do with health matters, maybe not your own, but maybe somebody else's, or important discussions that are just on the table and decisions need to be made. This is the kind of energy I'm seeing here. Now, there's more, because not only is Saturn squaring Jupiter, but your ruler, Uranus, is also squaring Mars. So watch for conflict around this time with other people. And that's the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is you're changing something and you're having to make a decision where it improves your life in some way. Could be work related. Could be home related, home environment related, like, something to do with your home life or a project that you're doing at home or at the office, any physical location. So this is going to be a very important alignment that occurs here on the 15th or coming up to it. Now, Mars enters Virgo on the 18th. This amps up the energy even more. Mars has been in Leo for a while because it was retrograde at the beginning of the year. It slowed it down. And now Mars is in Virgo. Virgo is the sign that analyzes everything. And this is a very deep, profound analyzation that takes place, especially in the 8th house of psychological well-being. So here, Mars in Virgo is analyzing your finances. It's analyzing your physical well-being and your mental well-being. Physical being, we have Venus in Taurus, which is physical, and we have all these 2 planets in the 6th house of physical well-being. So Mars in Virgo can make you a little bit more irritant because Virgo rules the nervous system and the digestive system. And so when, there's aspects to Mars, we feel much more anxiety or stressed out or irritated for some apparent reason. Okay, so keep that in mind as this Mars over the course of 6 weeks makes its way through the 8th house. Now, the positive side to this is as you look at your finances and things pertaining to other people, and well-being, you can move in a new direction. Like, for instance, if you're buying a property and you need financing, or you're wanting to remodel something, you're analyzing all the numbers and making it make sure it works. And so this is going to be a major component to all this. So there's definitely a lot of energy building up in that area. Now here's the second square between Jupiter and now Neptune. There's Neptune at 2 degrees, there's Jupiter at 2 degrees, and there's a square. Now this is a little bit lighter square than the other one. This is more optimistic. And so it's still a square, which means, is this realistic? Is this what I really want? And this could have to do with a job, or it could have to do with a decision or an idea that you are thinking about doing. So this square is going to highlight a choice that you have to make. Is it a realistic one? Are you doing the right thing? Does this make you happy? So it's all about choices this month, friends. I got to tell you, it's really about choices, because your third house of communication is being lit up, and Venus is lighting up the fourth house of home, feeling, and foundation. Again, it could be something about a move. It could be something about a family member. It could be something about an idea about expanding a business or doing something in maybe another job. Now, speaking of the sixth house and Cancer, the Sun enters Cancer on the 20th and 21st, amplifying that energy even more. So things pertaining to work, health, your daily routine are all highlighted now. And Cancer is the sign of emotion, feeling, and foundation. So here we amplify this energy even more with the Sun going through Cancer, but also even more so when the new moon in Cancer also highlights this sixth house. So maybe you have a new job. Maybe you're thinking of a promotion. Maybe you're thinking about a business at home or related to the home. This is going to be at 4 degrees of Cancer, wherever that is in your birth chart. You want to take a look at it, because it's going to highlight that area of your life. And so this could make you more emotional, could make you more moodier in the next 2 weeks, but it will propel you. Cancer is a cardinal sign for action. There's a lot of action here. This is not a month where you're going to sit still and do nothing. This is a month where you're going to be making decisions and moving forward with your ideas and plans. Now, Mercury also leaves Cancer, goes into Leo right there, your opposite sign. And Mercury in Leo is very quick, very sharp. It does much better than in Cancer. And so you're having communications about these plans and these ideas with another person, maybe a partner, maybe a friend. And you're trying to adjust accordingly to what you want out of this new situation. So as you can see here, there's a lot of possibilities this month, Aquarius and Aquarius rising. So there's many choices to be made. Anyway, there's the general overview. If you want to know more, I do an extended horoscope in my Inner Circle community, as you can see here from this slide. And I also do the extended, not just the extended, but I do the weekly astrology overview for the members, and they really enjoy that. It gives them a heads up of what the week looks like. And then, of course, I teach astrology, the 6-module course. And every Sunday, we are on a Zoom call with the members. They get to ask me questions. Some people send me their charts. They want me to answer a few questions for them. And I do that happily. And so check it out. I left the link down below. There's a 7-day free trial, so there's no obligation. You can check it out, see what's up there. And you get to interact with a lot of other members at the same time. So anyway, do the best you can. Have a great month, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.